Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshua, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rikah Kodash. The honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of great millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether concepted or not. And the sincere salutation to all the ark pushing the truth and believing in truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the ark walk who are listening and learning. You few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Asai from Jim Solano Camp, coming at you another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. Another daily edification, Lord, wouldn't be able to find. So I titled this lesson, Various Topics of Judgment. Various topics of judgment. Lord, wouldn't be able to find. So I was just watching Elder Zakbar video, and he played some of the clips that I got, which I'm going to play, of judgment that happened down here in Babylon the Great, Orlando, Florida. Well, in Florida, period. Because we had well, it hit like a couple places brother was at. Some brothers had no lights, right? When the brother in Tampa did a lesson about it was a tree that fell on their crib, but it didn't like break the roof or none of that. But anyway, just the judgment that happened when the Lord sent this hurricane down here in Babylon the Great, Florida. So Lord was be edifying. Got a few clips I want to play with some of the clips that Elder Monatazaba played in his lesson. So then we're gonna get some precepts. So check this out.
Well, following breaking news, a lot of new information as Hurricane Ian has been downgraded to a tropical storm as it continues to wreak havoc in Florida.
As daylight emerges, we are getting our first look at some of the damage.
Yeah, Eyewitness News reporter Mark Robles live in the studio with details for us. Mark.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be bad. We're certainly seeing the aftermath now. We're getting some new information from the sheriff in Lee County. That's where Fort Myers is located. He spoke on Good Morning America and confirmed that there are deaths. It's just not clear how many at this point. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis expected to give an update in about 10 minutes from now. We do have a live look this morning from Orlando. You can see the moisture there on the lens, really gray skies. This morning, we learned that President Biden approved a major disaster declaration for people in multiple counties, which will help with losses and repairs. The video right there from Naples showing a flooded parking lot with cars stuck inside in Daytona Beach. This video, the storm ripping these American flags, and the wind so strong that camera flipped right over. The hurricane was one of the strongest to ever hit the U.S. and has left millions without power right now. Others trapped in flooded homes where they chose to ride out the storm.
The Caloosahatchee River has flowed through the bottom floor of this house, and we're safe on the second floor.
And just take a look at this new video just into our newsroom of the devastation left behind in Fort Myers. The storm made landfall as a Category 4 storm yesterday with battering 150-mile-per-hour sustained winds. The storm now expected to emerge off Florida's east coast and into the Atlantic. Meteorologists with the National Hurricane Center say it will then turn northwest toward Georgia and South Carolina. President Biden will visit the FEMA headquarters later this morning in Washington, D.C. to receive an update on Hurricane Ian. Again, that update from Florida's governor expected in about 10 minutes.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content.
So let me get this other clip here. Because it was, they say 11 deaths that happened down here. So let me get this one. Lock it. Bear with me for a second. Okay. I want to get rid of the infomercial. So check this one out.
More of the catastrophic damage Ian is causing across the state. More than 2.5 million people are currently without power, and millions are feeling the impact of the devastating storm. Ian made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane, packing 150-mile-per-hour winds on Wednesday afternoon. It's ripped roofs off of buildings, turned roads into rivers, and decimated some of the state's critical infrastructure. Recovery efforts are underway across the state. Severe flooding and life-threatening storm surges are bearing down on parts of Florida's southwest coast. And although the storm has largely passed, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says more flooding is expected.
The amount of water that's been rising and will likely continue to rise today, even as the storm is passing, is basically a 500-year flood event. This storm is having broad impacts across the state, and some of the flooding you're going to see in areas hundreds of miles from where this made landfall are going to set records, and that's going to obviously be things that that will need to be responded to.
Let's bring in CBS News correspondent Chris Van Cleve. He is traveling along the Florida coast, surveying the damage. Chris, behind you, it's obviously a mess. Tell us what's the scene on the ground there now.
Well, we've just gotten into Fort Myers, came across the bridge, so we're looking at downtown. The very first thing that you see is this marina as we're coming in. And obviously there are boats in places there should not be boats. As Tony opens up,
Man, I'm talking about billions of dollars, man, on these expensive boats, these yachts, these speed boats, man. The Lord did a number, man. These Edomites spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on these boats, man.
you can see not only are boats off their moorings and on their sides, but they are well inland here. So we look out towards the water. That's where the boats all started, out there in the river. And they were pushed by the fury of Ian off their moors, into the dock, and in some cases, about a half a block onto land. You have sailboats on their side. You have large yacht-type boats also just thrown about. So this is the first taste we're getting. And I tell you, as we're driving in, the first sign that you were really getting into a situation where the winds were ferocious. There's a motorboat sitting in the middle of the road on 41 as you come in here to go over the bridge. If we pan this way, Tony, you can clearly see this was part of the dock. This should be out in the river. This boat is on land. And as we keep coming, you're going to see over here, you have boats that are hundreds of feet from the water. So you had a storm that was powerful enough to pick up large boats, yacht-sized boats, and throw them to land. And we know that the amount of surge that came through here, 7 feet, 10 feet of ocean of water, moving all of this debris onto land, that means it also went into homes. That means it went into businesses. So this is our first taste getting into Fort Myers of the kind of destruction that we are hearing about throughout Lee County, the home to Fort Myers. So as we're able to get driving around here, we're going to get a better sense. But our first look, this was a major storm. Power is out here, as you can imagine. Cell phone service is very spotty. There are a lot of people out and about on the roads. Traffic lights are not working. So that creates an obstacle for first responders, for power crews. As people are out, some are surveying the damage to their property, and some are playing disaster tourist, which is certainly not what authorities want here. Yeah. But this was clearly a nasty, awful storm. And we're just getting our first look at it here as we're getting to town.
I mean, Chris, that devastation around you is just, incredible to behold. I can't imagine what it must be like for the people to wake up there. which brings me to my question. I know a lot of us went to sleep last night not feeling very well, feeling very uneasy about what was going to happen in Florida overnight when, you know, the lights were out, right? Can you tell us what it was like riding out the worst of the hurricane? We know you were up in Tampa. You weren't there in Fort Myers, but what was last night like?
Yeah, you know, I mean, for us in Tampa, it doesn't compare to the hell that people would have gone through down here. You had howling winds, you had driving rain, we had concerns about flooding. Power was out to hundreds of thousands of people up there. You know, as we were coming in here, when we last talked to Anne Marie and Vlad about an hour ago, we pulled into a small neighborhood, and as we were going house by house, some houses were untouched, others were obliterated. And I suspect we're going to see more and more of that as we get further into Fort Myers, because what they experienced, a Category 4, almost a Category 5 storm coming ashore, bringing those 155-mile-an-hour sustained winds, slamming into the barrier islands and then into Fort Myers proper. And then you had this wall of water that came through here. Enough water to pick these giant boats up and throw them like toys a block inland. So this could only be described as a night from hell for the folks in Fort Myers and Lee County and Port Charlotte up the road.
And the young brother not count, the brother Ricard, his channel is GMS Raw Bun. Subscribe to the brother channel. He worked for with the electricity, you know, the electric companies, and he did a lesson maybe about a month ago, going into these transformers. He was saying that it's like a back order on transformers, man, for a year. They say 365-day year on transformers. Well, I was watching the clip the other day. I think it was Tuesday. The guy said that it's a 2-year back order on transformers, man. So if you were in a place and the transformers got destroyed, you know how long it's gonna be for them people to get lights, man? Hey, that's a long time, man. It's a back order for 2 years on transformers, man, which needed for lights, man, and powering wherever you stay at. But anyway,
Chris, you mentioned the power being out, cell service being out. Any sense of when all of that will be restored? Because for the people who managed to weather the storm, now they're looking at some difficulties ahead. And can you tell us anything more about emergency crews? Are they now fully activated?
Yeah, so the winds are dying down. We saw a Coast Guard helicopter doing a low pass over Fort Myers. That was a damage survey, almost certainly trying to get a sense of and a grasp of how bad this was. Because, you know, when the sun came up today, even the first responders here in Lee County didn't know the scope of the damage. By now, as we're at the middle of the day, they've had helicopters in the air. They're going to have a sense for that. We passed a lot of power crews driving down here. So, look, the repair effort is underway in places like Tampa, in Bradenton, some of the areas that were more on the periphery that may have taken a hit. Power's going to come back faster there. There are going to be parts of Lee County where they're going to have to rebuild that power infrastructure. That is not a quick process. You know, that's not going to be measured in hours. That's probably going to be measured in days. So there are going to be people in communities like this one who may not see power for several days. There are other people that should get it back later today. Fortunately, it is not oppressively hot. And as we've seen after some hurricanes, the heat and humidity ratchet up. That is not the case today. So at least you're not suffering through oppressive temperatures. But certainly people are going to want to get their lights back on. And crews are working. There are 27,000 plus repair crews from surrounding states and across Florida that are at work now trying to get the lights back on.
Yeah, and the brother saw the clip he put in the chat, the young brother, and they was going through on the east side. Hey, Jake messed up, man. Floodings, lights out, man. Hey, but that's the Lord, man. Judgment. And think about, hey, how this happened, man. Yahweh Yahweh's going to send his son back, man, as a thief in the night, man. Yahweh has come like a thief in the night, and Jake is not prepared for what's about to really go down, man. Let me get this next clip here. The Lord come out like a thief in the night, man. Jake's sitting right here playing games, man. They said the vengeance burneth in the Lord's heart, man. And he's going to come out like a thief in the night, man. Check this out.
This is not anything anyone wanted to deal with. I mean, if you go back 72 hours before landfall, most of Southwest Florida was not even in the cone. And then you have a situation where you're staring down the barrel of a hurricane making landfall at 155 miles an hour. So the response here and just the way people have reacted has been very, very impressive. And we understand this is just the beginning.
Yeah, but Shema ain't playing, man. And this is nothing.
You know, when you first experience all this, it really is sort of numbing. You're overwhelmed. You're still in a little bit of shock. It's not my first hurricane, but it's my first total loss. So I'm trying to be brave. I think I've lost everything I own. And I'm trying to be brave and know that my family and I are safe. And I'll worry about all that other stuff later.
Water came up to about here, and when it got to there, the way they were saying on the news, I thought it was going to eventually go over our heads. I called my daughters and said goodbye. Now, from now on, when they say water surge and all that, it's not that it's going to be close to the beach. It can be miles away, you know. So next time, we'll know to get the hell out.
I stayed here as long as I could until I got scared for my life and went across the street. And a brick home, which the three little pigs, they built them out of block. It's supposed to stay. Mine's built out of sticks. It didn't last too long when the big bad wolf come along and puffed it away. But I literally watched my house disappear with everything in it. Right before my eyes.
Look at that bridge. Gone. Gone, man. And most of those are Edomites, man. You already know. Look at them yachts, man. Man. The Lord cold, man. And the Lord said he gonna do. Let me read this real quick. Let me get this. Let me pull this right here. The Lord said he gonna do to Ephraim, right? Let me get this one. This is the last clip I got. I'm gonna get some pre-sale. So let me read this real quick. This is Hosea 5:14. For I will be unto Ephraim as a lion, and as a young lion to the house of Judah. I will tear and go away. I will take away, and none shall rescue him. If the Lord gonna do this to Ephraim and Judah, what you think he gonna do to the heathens, man? The Lord don't care about these heathen nations.
Ian has moved on tonight after stamping an indelible mark of death and destruction across Florida. Local officials are reporting multiple people killed and hundreds of thousands more in the dark for days to come. Meanwhile, Ian has regained hurricane strength late today as it heads for landfall in South Carolina tomorrow. John Yang spent this day in St. Augustine, Florida, and begins our coverage.
Rescuers struggled to reach people stranded by the floodwaters that Ian left behind after raking the state overnight.
Are you guys okay?
By midday, more than 500 people had been rescued in hardest-hit Southwest Florida. The efforts are hampered by flooded roads and damaged bridges. This is what's left of the only connection between Sanibel and Captiva Islands and Florida's Gulf Coast. In Naples, docks floated down the Gordon River and buildings were completely submerged. Boats now sit between buildings in Fort Myers near where Ian made landfall. Some parts of the city were under 3 or 4 feet of water, turning homes into islands and causing severe damage.
We got out the door, swam out the door as the water was here.
Officials are asking people to stay home and off the roads. With many areas still unreachable, President Biden warned the death toll could be significantly higher.
This could be the deadliest hurricane in Florida's history. The numbers are still unclear, but we're hearing early reports of what may be substantial loss of life.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
This is going to require years of effort to be able to rebuild and to come back. These are fantastic communities down in South.
Hold on. I got to get it. I got to get it. This is Obadiah 1. In verse 3 it reads, "The proud thy heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" This is Malachi chapter 1. In verse 3 it reads, Malachi 1 and 4, "Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh Shema shall have indignation forever." So of course they're going to build, but the Lord is going to continue to throw down, man.
West Florida. Of course, they didn't ask for this, but they need our help now.
Here we are downtown Bonita, right after the storm, underwater.
Across the state, utility crews prepared for the long work of restoring power. At one point today, as many as 2.5 million customers were in the dark. So have you stockpiled material here?
Yeah, so ahead of any storm, what we do is we gather the material that our crews, both in-state and out-of-state, are going to need for the restoration process. So we've got anything from transformers, poles, wires, anything that needs to be used by our crews. As soon as they can get out there, they're...
Marshall Hastings is a spokesperson for Florida Power and Light, the state's biggest utility. Statewide, there are 21,000 workers ready to go, many of them from other power companies as far away as New Hampshire, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. In some places, the damage is so great that the task is more than simply restoring service.
We're going to have to rebuild, so that's going to mean extended outages for our customers. It takes about 24 hours post landfall and post clearing for us to really get a scope and idea of what the work is ahead of us.
Climate scientists say storms like Ian will be more common as warmer waters stir up more dangerous hurricanes. Hastings says the utility has worked to prepare Florida for this changing reality.
We've been on a journey of hardening the energy grid and in many cases undergrounding power lines for the last decade. And so as we rebuild it, we're ensuring the energy grid is as strong as it possibly can be to withstand hurricanes like this.
The storm is now heading out into the Atlantic and is forecast to make landfall again, this time in South Carolina, where residents are bracing for Ian's arrival tomorrow.
Utility officials say that some parts of the state may not have power for days, even weeks. That's because they're going to have to rebuild the power grid in areas where Ian left a deep, deep mark. Amna?
John, the damage sounds so extensive, particularly to that power system there. It's only been a day since the storm made landfall. So how are some of those earlier efforts to get out and restore power going so far?
Well, it takes a little while because they can't get out. Number one, some roads are blocked. They can't get to where the damage is and where the work is needed. But also, they can't get people up, workers up in what they call those buckets. You know, those buckets you see at the end of the articulated arms of utility trucks. They need the wind to be below 30 miles an hour in order to do that. And we're getting buffeted here. We're on the East Coast, the Atlantic coast of Florida, so the storm has already moved out to the Atlantic, but we're still being buffeted here by gusts up to 40 to 45 miles an hour. They hope, they believe that tropical storm wind will die down, diminish overnight, and they can get out and be working full force tomorrow.
John, when the damage is so extensive and so widespread, we know they pre-positioned a lot of crews to try to address that power system failure early, but how did they prioritize where they're going?
Well, they've got about 37 of staging areas around the state, and the locations of those kept changing as the track of the storm kept changing. The utility for FPL has been working on this, planning for this storm, pre-planning for this storm for more than a week. So they've moved around those staging areas to where they anticipated that they'd be needed the most. Those staging areas are like camps, worker camps. They've got big tractor trailers outfitted with bunks for the workers to sleep in, big tents to feed them in, all to make their downtime more efficient and to maximize the time that they're out working once they can get out, once the winds die down, maximize their time trying to restore power.
Lord cold, man. Judgment must go forth, man. Jake don't want to repent. The heathens, it'll tell you when, was it, Hosea 4:1? Because there is no truth in the land, man. There is no truth from these devils. So the Lord is going to continue to throw down, man. And he said, the Lord said in, is it Exodus? Let me see real quick. I think it's Exodus 17. Let me see. In Exodus 17, the Lord said, Exodus 17:16, for he said, because the Lord hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation, man. He's going to have war with these devils from generation to generation. So let me read these. I got a couple of articles that I put in the chat. I want to just read. So let me read these first. This is Isaiah 28:2. It reads, behold, the Lord have a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail in a destroying storm. And I was talking to the brother Bashar in the GMS Buffalo, New York camp Tuesday. And he was telling me that they had to close up camp about a week ago because it was hailing up there, man. It was hailing up there in New York, man. They had hails falling. So they had to close up camp. I was talking to that brother Tuesday, your brother Bashar. His channel is GMS Salvation is near. Subscribe to the brother channel. But he was telling me how it was hailstones up there the other week. And they couldn't even go out to camp, man. It said, behold, the Lord have a mighty and strong one, which is a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. Right? It's Isaiah 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake, which those are happening on the regular, and great noise with storms and tempests and the flame of devouring fire. And he saw one of those houses on fire, man. This is Nahum chapter 1, verse 8. It reads, let me read 7. Yahweh is good, a stronghold in a day of trouble. And and the Lord looked over. The Lord looked over us down here, man. Kala Yahweh Shema Washah. The Lord Yahweh is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him, the hopeful elect. It say, but with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. And this is 2/3 of Jake. and heathens, man. This is Jeremiah 47 in verse 2. It reads, Thus saith Yahweh, behold, waters rise up out of the north. Where we at? In the north. Thus saith Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, behold, waters rise up out of the north, and shall be an overflowing flood, and shall overflow the land, and all that is therein, the city, and them that dwell therein. Then the men shall cry, and all the inhabitants of the land shall howl. And that's what's happening, man. These peoples is hurt, man. Boats, whether they had insurance on them or not, man. The Lord ain't playing, man. The Lord is not playing. This is and you Jake think you all good, man. The Lord is gonna come like a thief in the night, man. This is 1 Samuel 2 and 3. It reads, Talk no more so exceedingly proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a power of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. I want to read these clips. I got some articles here that I put in the chat earlier. So let's read this. So you remember the guy, right? PNB that was killed, PNB Rock. So they say they got these people. It's just this first say, well, father and the son, right? Let me read this first. So this is an article. It say this is a sheriff. Say I guess North Carolina sheriff abhorrently racist rant recorded exposed by cop. He say, I'm sick of these black bastards. And these devils showing their horns, man. He said, I'm sick of these black bastards. NC sheriff abhorrently racist rant recorded exposed by cop, some other cop. So it's a 12-year-old who shot dad in murder pact with friends, killed their families, dies 2 days after shooting herself. So here's a 12-year-old. It's a 12-year-old who shot dad in murder pact with friends to kill their families, dies 2 days after shooting herself. So here is some people. They don't always know if they was Jake or Edomites. They made a pact to kill their families. The love of many shall wax cold. Well, 2 Timothy, right? It say shall be proud, boasters, lovers of self, disobedient to parents. This is happening. This is another one. This on my Smart News app. If you know my Smart News, it's a 16-year-old admitted ending a beef with a murder in a Walmart. Miami-Dade cops say. And Miami is off the meat rack, man. Them Jakes down there, especially them Levites down there, man. We can't even call them Levites. Them damn Haitians down there in Miami is off the chain, man. It says 16-year-old admitted ending a beef with a murder in a Walmart, Miami-Dade cop says. Here's another one. It's a Tennessee school cop resigns after viral video shows him pepper spraying and dragging black student by her hair. Hey, these devil's horns is being showed, man. Here's another one. It's a family friends looking for answers after young mother. Oh, let me click on this because this is what got me. Let me tell you what the cousin said in this article. Let me open this up. Bear with me here. Hey, the Lord, that's why the Lord got to kill Jake, man. So it's a family friends looking for answers after young mother was gunned down in South LA, right? So it's a, hold on, bear with me here. Her cousin said, I'm trying to, now they're telling me, hold on. I'm trying to open the app up. Bear with me for a second. Now it's telling me to go into the app. The cousin said, let me see if it's gonna pull it up. If not, I ain't gonna even waste my time with it. So the cousin said, see, it ain't even showing, man. Might not be meant. The cousin said, she said, why does what she said was, why does this blood, why do blood gotta be in the streets? That's what she said. Roughly paraphrasing. Because when I click on it, they won't send me to the article. But the cousin said, why does blood, she said, why we can't stop all the violence, and why does blood gotta be in the streets like this? So I thought about what the Lord said, man. Blood's gonna be in the street, man. It said from one end of the earth even to the other, man, shall blood be in the streets, man. Let me go back. She won't even open it up. Damn it. But anyway, the cousin said, why do blood gotta be in the streets? Like, why we can't just all like stop the violence? Hey, the Lord said he's gonna be a young lion to Ephraim and a lion to Judah, man. Here's another one. TikTok star Carla Pardini, whose body was found riddled with bullets. It's a body was found riddled with bullets, receiving mystery late night call just before death. And she young. This is a young Issacharite. Young, man. The Lord is not playing, man. 1 Samuel 2 and 3 again. Talk no more so exceedingly proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For Yahweh is a power of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. And we keep telling you, man. Jake talking about the devil is running loose. No, it ain't the devil, man. It's Yahweh Shema Bashah. It's them angels, man. Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? Damn, I want to open this article up, man. Because the girl said, why is there so much blood in the streets? Or something she said, roughly paraphrasing it, man. The Lord, man. Judgment. And if you don't want to get right, guess what? The same must know it. After death by pain, man. After death by pain, man. Let's get this. If you think you're gonna be able to just escape and slide off in the sunset, man, the Lord gonna get you, man. Let me see if they got it here. Oh, the trash talking Jake be doing, talking trash behind the scenes. They in their cribs talking trash behind closed doors. The Lord gonna get you, man. This is Isaiah 45 and 7. It reads, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. If you think something else, man, the Lord deceived you, man. Just like he got 2/3 of our people, man. They are deceived, man. Because you always got Christianity to teach that you was in the wrong place. Or maybe they was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Or they was in the wrong place at the right time. Or the right place at the wrong time. No. It's always the right time when you have about Shema Bashai, man. Always. Let me get this. In Job, chapter 8 and 3, it reads this. There is no wrong time and wrong place with Yahweh Shema Bashai. Do if God pervert judgment, or doeth the Almighty pervert justice? It's both. Doeth God pervert judgment, or doeth the Almighty pervert judgment? Neither. He don't pervert. Hey, it's all justified, man. It's always justified. It's always justified, man. It's always justified. Doeth power pervert judgment, or doeth the Almighty pervert justice? When you go to Psalms, let's get this. Look at Psalms. I think it's 98. I think it is. Let's see. It might be 98. Maybe 9. I think it's 9. Let's go back. Let me see. This is Psalms chapter 9. This is Psalms 9 and verse 12. It reads, when he maketh inquisition for blood, man. So I thought about what the girl said about, she talked about, I forgot how it's worded exactly, but she said, why is there blood in the streets? No, she said, why do it gotta be blood in the streets? That's what she said. Psalm 9 and 12. When he maketh inquisition for blood, he remembereth them. He forgetteth not the cry of the humble, man. Right? In Psalms 8 and 9, let's get this. Remember it said in Job, doeth the Lord pervert judgment? Do the Lord pervert judgment? Doeth he pervert justice? This is Psalms 8 and 9 and 14. See right here? Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face, man. Okay? Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Let's go back to this in Job. This is Job 8 and 3. Doeth God pervert judgment, or doeth the Almighty pervert justice? If thy children have sinned against him, and he have cast them away for their transgressions, if thou wilt seek unto God betimes, and make thy supplication to the Almighty, if thou wert pure and upright, surely not he would awake for thee, and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. You see? And how do you be prosperous? Hold on. You got to get it. How do we be prosperous, man? Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. There's only one way, man. Ain't no gray areas with the Lord, man. This Joshua 1 and 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then, when? For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. This is Deuteronomy. What is that? 10, verse 12. Let's read this. There's only one way you're going to be prosperous, man. Deuteronomy 10 and 12. And now, Israel, what doeth Yahweh thy power require of thee? But to fear Yahweh thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord Yahweh thy power with all thine heart and with all thine soul. Isaiah 48:17. And it reads, Thus saith Yahweh, thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, I am Yahweh, thy power, which teacheth thee to profit, which leadeth thee by the way that thou shouldest go. If you try any other way, it's going to lead to death, man. And not just, you ain't going to die in your sleep. You ain't going to die in your sleep, man. It's going to be a grievous death, man. This is Psalms. Let's get this. 32:8, I think it is. Psalms 32:8. Let's read up as a matter of fact. In Psalms 32 in verse 5, it reads, Hey, as a matter of fact, this is Psalm 32:4. For day and night thy hand was heavy upon me. My moisture is turned into the drought of summer. That crying, man, that's being sorry, man. Sorrowful, man. Humble and contrite spirit, man. Because the Lord can just do you in, man, at any time. And that's the problem. Jake don't have no fear of the Lord, man. The Lord can just do us in at any moment, man. I acknowledge my sin unto thee, and my iniquity have I not hid. I said, I will confess my transgressions unto thee, Yahweh, unto the Lord Yahweh, and thou forgavest the iniquity of my sin. The Lord say, let me come back to that. In Hosea, right? It said, Hosea 5. You got to be the one. You got to be the one, man, to confess, man. Hosea 5:15. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early. Now, the thing is, the Lord have to give you the high calling. Let me get this. Lord, when I remember to go back to that precept, because I'll be so deep in precepts, I'll never get back to the one I want to get back to. 1 Corinthians was that 1:26. Let's just read this. It say right here, 1 Corinthians 1:26. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. Right? So if the Lord give you this high calling, hold on. Philippians, let's get this. Philippians 3, I think it is. Let's see. So in Philippians, let me see here. So right here, Philippians 3:14, it say, I press towards the mark for the for the prize of the high calling of God in Hamashiach Yahweh. So it's a high calling, right? So if the Lord gave you this high calling, let me get this one. Philippians 1:5, right? It reads, for your fellowship in the gospel from the first day until now. From the first day until now, man. You still here? The Lord woke you up again today. You call on Yahweh Shema Washah. You pray to the Lord. You face the east and pray to the Lord. Whatever you eat, you pray to Yahweh Shema Washah. Whatever you drink, when you leave your crib, when you leave your flat and go wherever and come back, and the Lord bless you to make it back to your flat safely. for your fellowship in the gospel from the first day until now. Okay? That's the point I want to make, man. It's a high calling, man. So going back to Psalms 32. I could have got more precepts, but I'll be lost. I'll never get back to Psalms. I'll be somewhere lost in precepts. So back in Psalms 32 and 5, it say, I acknowledge my sin unto thee, and my iniquity have I not hid. I said, I will confess my transgressions unto Yahweh, and thou forgavest the iniquity of my sins. Who's going to do this? Only the hopeful elect is going to do this, man. For this shall every one that is godly pray unto thee in a time when thou mayest be found. You see, the Lord say in Hosea 5 and 15, he will hide his face until we acknowledge our offenses, right? For this shall every one that is godly pray unto thee in a time when thou mayest be found. Surely in the floods of great waters, what's the floods of great waters? Esau, Edom, and every other flood of great water that Yahweh Shema shall send through, like now. Surely in the floods of great waters, which is in Isaiah 59, it says surely that they shall come in like a flood. Esau, Edom with his troops, okay? That martial law, concentration camps, mandatory mark of the beast, right? Surely in the floods of great waters, they shall not come nigh unto him. It tell you what is that? John 10 and 28, Yahweh Shah said that the elect is in his hands. In verse 29, Yahweh Shah said that he and the elect is in Yahweh's hands, right? And nobody's able to pluck the elect out of Yahweh Shah's hands. And nobody can pluck Yahweh. Nobody can pluck Yahweh Shah and the elect out of Yahweh's hands. So it says, surely in the floods of great waters, they shall not come nigh unto him. Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. In Kala Yahweh Shema Shah, man. For whatever goes on, man, the Lord got the elect covered, the hopeful elect. But you got to believe that, man. You got to know. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. Right? That song of Moses, Deuteronomy 31. And they tell you in Revelation, they sung as it were a new song, the songs of deliverance. Verse 8 is the point. I will instruct thee. The Lord is saying here, I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shouldest go. I will guide thee with mine eye. So if you ain't repenting to Yahweh Shema Shah, and first and foremost, the Lord got to put that spirit on you, man. Let's get this. The Lord got to put that spirit on you to even do that, man. Let's get Proverbs 3. Let me get this here. Let me get right here. So this is Proverbs 3 and 20. It reads, by his knowledge, the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down to dew. Now let's go back to Deuteronomy 32. And the Lord say, Deuteronomy 32 and 2, he shall distill his knowledge, his doctrine as the dew upon the tender herbs. Talking about upon the hopeful elect. So right here say, by his knowledge, the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down to dew. That's Deuteronomy 32 and 2. Go read it. It's talking about this truth, man, this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. My son, let not them, what? Wisdom, knowledge, understanding, depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. So shall they be life unto thy soul and grace to thy neck. Remember in Matthew 11:29, the Lord said, take my yoke upon you, right? And grace to thy neck. Then shalt thou walk in thy way. What way? Is it your way? No, it's the Lord's way. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. When thou layest down, then it say, thou shalt not be afraid. Yeah, thou shalt lay down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of desolation of the wicked when it cometh. It's judgment. And when you read it, oh, let me get it here in the phone real quick. This is Ecclesiasticus, right? It's Ecclesiasticus chapter 43, I think. No, I'm sorry. Hold on. Yeah, I think it's 43. Let's get it here. See, this is for the hopeful elect, man. This ain't for some slow-bellied niggas, man. This Ecclesiasticus, not 43. Salakia. Ecclesiastes 41:3, right? It reads, fear not the sentence of death. Remember them that have been before thee, and that come after. For this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh. And why art thou against the pleasure of the Most High? There is no inquisition in the grave, whether thou hast lived 10 or 100 or 1,000 years. So the Lord saying you should be no fear of death, man. So right here say, be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh, man. Okay. Verse 26 reads, for Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, shall be thy confidence and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Let me get this in chapter 4. See, this is Proverbs 4. It's beautiful. It say, hear ye children the instructions of a father, and attend to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. And precepts are laws, man. Go look it up. Go look at the word precept and see what it tell you. This is Proverbs 4 in verse let's see. 20 reads, my son, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my sayings. The minute you lean on your own understanding, the Lord gonna kill you, man. You're gonna die a grievous death, man. Let them not depart from thy eyes, keep them in the midst of thine heart, for they are life unto those that find them, and health to all thy flesh. You see? Verse 23 reads, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. For out of it, keep thy heart, your mind, with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. So like you in Psalms 68, the Lord said the same difference. Psalm 68 and 20 reads, he that is our power is the power of salvation, and unto power of the Lord belong the issues from death, man. Okay? So you got the issues of life, man. From death, man. And the scripture tell you that it said the Lord have not given any man license to sin, man. But Jake have sought out wicked inventions. Whose inventions? From Esau Edom, man. When you follow the ways of these devils, man, because the Lord's gonna come. The Lord's gonna come. Let me get this. Let's get this. Is it oh yeah, Revelations. Let's get this. 16. Let's see. Right. Revelation 16 and 15, right here say, behold, I come as a thief. I come as a thief, man. How do a thief come, man? Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, meaning your truth, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. Behold, I come as a thief. This is how the Lord gonna move, man. He's gonna come like a thief, man. And the brother put it up. Let me get it in 1 Thessalonians. That let me jump here. Instead of doing all that typing. Let me jump here. Then we'll jump to verse 5. It say 1 Thessalonians 1 and 5. But of the times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night, man. The Lord, hey, anything that happens, and this is before the Lord return, man. When judgment come upon Jake, it's gonna be like a thief in the night, man. You think for a moment, this nigga, this guy PNB Rock was sitting in a Roscoe and Waffles, right? Roscoe Chicken and Waffles, eating. Him niggas came to take his life, man. Okay? The Lord be sent, hey, Kobe Bryant, man. I bring it up a lot, man. Because that was a grievous death, man. Him and his daughter, that was the Lord came upon him like a thief in the night, man. Just like these scoffers, man. What's this guy name? Rap the News. The Lord came on that devil like a thief in the night, man. Judgment, man. Ricky Harris, scoffing ass. The Lord came on like a thief in the night. And Mike Epps ass, he gonna get him too. This nigga Jordan got all his security guards. Them niggas call him Yahweh, man. The Lord gonna get that nigga, man. Just wait for it. Just wait for it, man. This is verse 4. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. You see? Jake losing their lives like thieves. All them 500 rappers and counting. Oh, and I had mentioned, because I had mentioned this other rapper. What's this nigga name is? Hold on. I put it in the chat. I put it in the chat the other day. Let me see real quick. What's this nigga from LA? I think he was from. Let me see here. Bear with me for a second. What's this guy name? I ain't talking about Coolio. There was another guy. I thought I put it in the chat. What's this guy name, man? This was yesterday. This guy lost his life, man. I forgot his name. But the Lord took him too, man. He took him too. I forgot the guy's name. But yeah, it was 11 deaths down here. As far as right now, what we know. And these deaths down here in Florida for the hurricane. 11 deaths, man. 11. Oh, and then, okay, I got it right here. Listen, so I forgot all about these. So here we had, I mentioned the father and son that killed this guy, PNB Rock, right? Then you had another comedian. It was another comedian. What they call it? The Carnival Cruise, the Carnival Cruise Line. They had a comedian on there, and they said they fired him for using the N-word, an Edomite. Now here's another. This football player. I just saw this too, this morning. His name was Gavin Escobar. Gotta be Jake with the last name Escobar. His name is Gavin Escobar. I don't know. It could be Edomite. He played for the Dallas Cowboys, right? It say he played from I think it was 2013 and 2018. Gavin Escobar, dead at 31 from rock climbing, man. Doing some Edomite bullshit, man. And this guy, his name is LA rapper Key Riches. Killed in Compton triple shooting. That's his name. Key Riches. This was on my Smart News app this morning. And this other guy, Gavin Escobar, died rock climbing. Him and some whoever was with him, had to be some slow-bellied chick with him. Listen, man. This is the Lord hitting Jake like a thief in the night, man. Because you just don't know. And Jake don't have no fear of the Lord, man. Jake don't have no fear Yahweh Shema Shai, man. And it's been many deaths. I'm talking about these rappers, man. Down here in Miami, remember me and brother talking about a little while ago, they aired this guy caught out with him, his rib, and his 2 children. They ain't killed the children in the rib, but they aired them out, man. Put like 100 shots in the guy from a chopper, man. So you just one day up, you just moving around, and then you in the spiritual realm. That's the Lord affecting you like a thief in the night, man. And Jake don't take no consideration. And when we see, and when you think about this guy who picked up sticks on the Sabbath, man, the Lord said, bring him here. Bring him here. Bring him here and stone him, man. And that affected everybody. Like, man, the Lord, like, just for picking up sticks, the Lord put him to death for picking up sticks on the Sabbath. That's supposed to affect you, man. So when Jake see these things and they don't have no fear of the Lord, they just got to get put to death, man. Let me get this. This is Jeremiah. The Lord got to just put you to death, man. Because you niggas is numb to wickedness, man. Niggas is numb to wickedness, man. This is Jeremiah 5:3. O Yahweh, are not thy eyes upon the truth? Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved. We seeing all the Trayvon Martins and the Mike Browns and the Breonna Taylors. We seeing them getting chopped down, man. Nobody is grieving. Niggas want a peaceful protest. Or they burning down the city, man. Where they gotta live at. What kind of justice they're gonna bring, man? Thou has stricken them, but they have not grieved. And Jake is wigging out. They bugging out on the wrong things. They ain't grieving in righteousness. Niggas is grieving in wickedness. That's why the Lord said, pray not for these people for their good. Thou has stricken them, but they have not grieved. Thou has consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction. So what's left for a nigga that has been consumed and a nigga don't want to be corrected? What's left for a Jake like this, man? It's death, man. They have made their faces harder than a rock. After being stricken and consumed, Jake refused to receive correction. So they get harder after being stricken and consumed. Jake get harder than a rock. They have refused to return. Therefore I said, surely these are poor, they are foolish, for they know not the will of Yahweh Shema Shai, nor the judgment of their power. So it said in Psalms 89, justice and judgment is the habitation of the Lord's throne, man. Let me get this. In Lamentation. Let's get it here. Hard-headed Jake, man. You can't tell Jake nothing, man. And it's like, man, when the Lord say you can't put new wine into an old bottle, these niggas, young niggas, they old bottles, man. They just old spirits in young bodies, man. You can't tell a nigga nothing, man. Let me get it here. Let's see. Right here. Lamentations 3 and 38 it reads, out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good. What's this mean? Out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good. What is this? It's just judgment. It's justice, man. Wherefore do a living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins? Let us Who? The hopeful elect. Let us search and try our ways and turn again to Yahweh. Let us lift up our heart with our hands. You don't supposed to be folding your hands in no prayers, man. Esau came up with that madness, man. You're supposed to lift up your hands. It tell you that also in 1 Timothy 2. Lift up your hands without wrath and doubting, man. To Yahweh Shema Shah. Let us lift up our heart, your mind, with our hands unto power in the heavens. We have transgressed and have rebelled. Thou hast not pardoned. Now you see, it said the Lord has not pardoned. What the Lord say, those that seek, get this, those that seek him, man. Isaiah 55:6. Because there was a time when we was not pardoned. But now is the time, man. Isaiah 55:6. Seek ye Yahweh Shema Shah while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto Yahweh, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon, man. You see? But that's to the hopeful elect, man. This only applies to everybody. 2/3 got to get put to death, man. Let me get this. In Isaiah, the Lord said, Isaiah 66:4, I also will choose their delusions. You see? The Lord cold, man. I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them. Why, Lord? Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. The Lord said he called you. He calling you, man. The Lord is calling. And J don't got no excuse. You got cell phones. You got the internet at home. You got laptops. I also will choose their delusion and will bring their fears upon them. Whatever you terrified of right now, that's a lot of women scared of frogs. Okay? Just imagine the Lord bringing a lot of frogs just to give you a heart attack, man. And I will bring their fears upon them, man. You scared of spiders? You scared of snakes? Hey, man. The Lord said he's going to choose their delusions, man. Think about that. Meditate on that. You scared of frogs and snakes? Think about it, man. And I will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before my eyes and chose that in which I delighted not, man. Hear the word of Yahweh, ye that tremble at his word. Who? Who is trembling? The hopeful elect, them that fear the Lord. It say, hear the word of Yahweh, ye that tremble at his word. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake. That's also in Luke 6:23. They shall cast you from them for my name's sake. They shall speak evil of you. It's also in Matthew 5. It say, your brethren that hated you, the 2/3, your family members, your associates in the world, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let the Lord be glorified, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed. It said the same difference in 1 Peter 4. It said on their behalf, right? They shall be ashamed, but on your behalf, you shall be glorified. Say the same thing in 1 Peter 4. Let the Lord be glorified. This is what they say. But he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed, man. Because they're going to find in the end, they was deceived, man. And hey, that's why when Jake, Like I would mention on this movie, Menace to Society, man. When when that nigga said at the end, he said, "My grandfather asked me, do I care whether I live or die? Yeah, I do. And now it's too late. It's gonna be too late, man. And the Lord gonna say, hey, your life is gonna flash before your eyes, man. Then the Lord gonna pull His Spirit out of you, man. Because the Lord have been calling, man. He gave us a high calling, man. He gave you a calling. And you Jakes out there, man. Any one of you that watch this video, stop coming on the comment board, putting up precepts, and you don't got no ministry, man. You don't got no street ministry. You ain't teaching. Stop putting precepts on the comment board, man. You need to be sitting back learning, man. You got Jake out here. They got their channel been up since 2013. And they posting precepts. They don't got none on their channels. Or like the one Jake, this Jake got 5-6 videos on his channel. Now one of them is street ministry. Why would you post precepts on the comment board? We all young in the faith, but you niggas got baby nuts. Like Elder Monata Zakba say, you got wobbly deer legs, baby nuts. Stop posting precepts on the comment board. You need to eat the roll, man. You ain't ate the roll. What are you doing? Zechariah 7 and verse 11. It said, but they refuse. Let me read this. Zechariah 7:9. Thus speaketh Yahweh of hosts, saying, execute true judgment. What's true judgment? Rebuke, man. Open rebuke is better than secret love. The Lord say, rebuke them sharply that they may be sound in the faith. In Titus, man, rebuke them sharply that they may be sound in the faith. And you got these emotional, effeminate, feeble, frail, slow-bellied niggas getting their feelings about getting rebuked, man. That's a part of the gospel. To get rebuked, man. What you think Yahweh was doing to the apostles, to the disciples, man? Thus speaketh Yahweh of hosts, saying, execute true judgment. You ain't getting this from outside the great millstone, man. You're not getting it, man. And show mercy and compassion every man to his brother. If the love of a brother, man, is to tell you the truth, man, ain't nobody finna hold their tongue, man. You're gonna get the straight skinny every time, all the time. You don't gotta like it, man. But just know that's the love of Yahweh Shema Shai, man. It said, oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless. Guess who the widows are? All of us, man. All of Israel, man. We are all widows and fatherless, man, because the Lord hid his face from us, man. And oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, nor the stranger. We was all strangers. We strangers in the land right now, man. Nor the poor, and let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. And some slow-bellied niggas say, see, it's don't imagine evil. Rebuking you is not evil. That's from the Lord. Telling you where you going off at is not evil, man. It's from the Lord, man. This is the true love of Yahweh Shema Shai. As Galatians 6:1 say, ye that are spiritual, restore such an one in a spirit of meekness, man. It said, but they refuse to hearken. What Jake say? Man, hey, you got Jake always saying, hey, keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. Shalom. Shalom. But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear. Yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which Yahweh of hosts has sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from Yahweh of hosts, man. And it's gonna, and we seen it happening. It's happening every day, man. Judgment. Straight judgment, man. So I just want to make some points. Lord was edifying. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikah, Qudash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of Great Millstone who teach well, whether apostles and elders of all Israel already accepted or not. In a sense, he'll say, chasing total I can push in this truth. I'm believing this truth towards the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the whole elect. And shalom to the who are listening and learning, you few sisters who are listening and learning. Hey, let me read this. This is from GMS in his likeness. Let me read verse 5. So like it say, Proverbs 27:5 reads, open rebuke is better than secret love. Verse 26, faithful are the wounds of a friend, man, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. What does it mean for it to say, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful? You got some slow-bellied demon nigga hanging with you. And I always use this. It's simple. Something's just simple to use. Both of y'all got dates. Y'all finna go out on a date. Y'all meet up with these chicks. Y'all sit down with these chicks. Y'all at a nice little place. Y'all sitting down eating. It's supposed to be your homeboy now. It's supposed to be your ride or die nigga. But you got crust in your eye, or you got a booger hanging out your nose, and the chick ain't gonna tell you. They gonna look at you and they ain't gonna laugh it off after the night over with. But your homeboy knew it was there the whole time. And he ain't say, bro, you got something in your eye. Or bro, you need to wipe your nose, go to the bathroom. No, he just sit there because he's a damn enemy, man. He ain't your friend. But somebody tell you straight up front, hey, bro, listen, you got something hanging out your nose, you need to go. A nigga look at you funny like, bro, you trying me? That's a wicked nigga, man. Okay? Faithful are the wounds of a friend who gonna give you the truth, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. He ain't gonna tell you the truth. He gonna lie to you, man. But what the Lord say in Isaiah 30, man, Jake love to hear smooth things in deceit. They don't want to hear the truth. Well, over here at Great Millstone, and brother teach the same sound doctrine, you're gonna get the truth, man. You're gonna get the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Just like they say in the wicked ass courts. You're gonna get the whole truth, man. And if you don't like it, stop coming around us, man. Like the elder always say, stop coming around us, man. Hey, so again, the wife for tuning in, the wife for your precepts. Until next time, I say shalom. Wa abba.